What up, world? It's your boy E-Dub back in the building. Of course, I got my man Lance LaRosa. Lance, say what's up to the people.
What's up to the people?
Hey, I mean, week 3, if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, you have no place and no way to be but excited, happy, thrilled, just amazed by what we've done. I mean, 3-0. We are 3-0, people, we went against Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Pittsburgh.
We crushed Pittsburgh.
3 points? 3 points.
We held them 3 points.
That's crazy. That in itself should tell you the kind of team that we are going to be this year.
This has been an incredible ride. I don't know how many people know from last week, but I was very particular. I said I do not see a win coming out of this week. And I'm an idiot for saying that. I am literally eating my words on that. Never again will I doubt my team.
I'm telling you right now, what I saw on Sunday against the Pitt, he's actually eating his words, people. This is a man who will honor any bet you put in front of him. He is eating his words. You can get the paper, bro.
I'll wash it down.
Okay, there you go. But I mean, Carson Wentz. The biggest thing right now, no interceptions. 0 interceptions. This guy, Sunday, 23 for 31, 300 yards, 301, let's be exact. 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Let's not even... Okay, interceptions, amazing. He's been throwing some tight balls. I mean, he's been threading the needle on a lot of that. That's great. Look at how many sacks he's avoided. Look at his field vision. Look at... He has 2 grown men coming at him full speed. Giant men, 300 pounds. He looks at them. He takes 2 steps forward and he throws a damn ball.
Yeah. I mean, crazy. I was very skeptical like you about this game. I was. Because it's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
We played Cleveland week 1, 29-10, or 29-14. Chicago was the opposite, 29. But to come out and first off, again, Pittsburgh only scored 3 points. When you think of the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have to figure they're going to score. And you said it last week. You said, if we can hold Pittsburgh under 17 points, we have a shot.
Yeah. I mean, if we can hold them under 5 points, that's better.
I mean,
I'm happy with
crazy.
it.
Crazy. And, okay, where did this dude Smallwood come from?
I have no idea. I mean, you're looking at yards for the game. Darren Sproles, minus a yard.
Yeah.
Ryan Matthews, minus 5.
Yeah.
Wendell Smallwood, 79 yards and a touchdown. What? 79, and it's not even just, it's 79 yards on 17 attempts, so he kept going at it and made yards out of it. I mean, he has more attempts on him than the entire running core combined. He's looking like our first-string running back all of a sudden.
I mean, honestly, I think he needs to be. Darren Sproles, though, for the -5 that he had rushing, he had that beautiful 73-yard deep run down the field. Yeah. Granted, what was it, 3rd, 4th quarter? Really didn't matter. Kind of put the nail in the coffin for us.
The reception was incredible. I mean, for him to be at 128 yards receiving, he's not a wide receiver.
No,
he's a running back.
No.
I mean, you don't see numbers like that. He had more yards receiving than our top receivers.
But my point is, you would expect Darren Sproles' receiving numbers on Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown was 12 for 140. His longest was 20 yards. We held Antonio Brown to a long of 20 yards, and he didn't even break 150. This is Antonio Brown, number 1 guy people will go out and draft in fantasy.
I will say a couple of things to this, which is kind of impressive, because yes, Antonio Brown was at 140 yards for the game. He only had 12 receptions as long as 20 yards, but the ball was only caught by the Steelers 24 times.
Yeah.
He literally was half of their receptions. Big Ben put that ball up 44 times and connected 12 of those times successfully with Antonio Brown. More of those were dropped attempts going to him. He was clearly their main target. The receiving was all over the place. I mean, we had our safeties diving in and almost getting interceptions off Antonio Brown. I was not expecting this kind of stuff. You do not see that. It's just... I'm speechless. The game was incredible. I'm surprised I had a voice come Monday morning.
You and me both.
Like, this is the kind of thing when you look at, then everyone was talking about, and yes, it was only week 2, but the Steelers were looking like a Super Bowl contender. They were looking amazing, and after the way we ripped them apart, I mean, the league changes every week, and this is just one of those examples. Now, we're on a bye this week, so
Right.
I'm just hoping that we can keep the momentum going. They're running their 7-on-7s. They're doing the right kind of thing. They're not just going out and partying and thinking, hey, we're number one in the division, we're 3-0, and they lose a little bit of that fire behind them.
Listen, Doug Peterson had a very truth-telling, emotional, but powerful speech after the game on Sunday in the locker room. And I got a chance to listen to it. And he said, you know what? You guys are finally starting to believe into what I'm saying to you. I told you, we come together as a family. We will see the fruits of our labor, and it's being produced week in and week out. So you know what? And they ended, their chant when they left was family. And that to me was huge. To see a bunch of guys who believe in their rookie quarterback, who believe in their new head coach, who have rallied around each other and said, we're not going to let the outside media, we're not going to let anybody else ruin what we've created. And so between Carson Wentz, between Smallwood, Barner, Sproles, Matthews, Selleck, Darrell Green Beckham, Aguilar and Huff, who, you know what, they stepped up. Trey Burton's getting, I'm loving him. The only negative, and I know I shouldn't have one. I know I should not have a negative this week. We're 3-0. There are only 5 teams left who are undefeated, and we can honestly say we are one of them. The only negative that I saw was Carson Wentz still, I think, his mechanics are there, but he's still taking the hits.
Too many.
I know it's going to happen. Listen, I know somebody's going to get to him one day, and it's going to be a hard-ass hit, but he can control that. He's great at controlling the game.
Yep.
He's great at making sure the passes go where they need to go. He's not throwing a lot of balls down the middle. He got 2 or 3 in tight coverage, but normally he's throwing out to the side, and teams are going to prepare for that. But he's still taking the hits. We're on a bye this week, so we win. I don't care. Our next game, though, I am calling it Thanksgiving Day Revenge because we are going to Detroit.
Yep.
Detroit last year, 45-14.
Which I think that was actually the nail in the coffin for Chip Kelly. Really,
I think it was a nail in the coffin for a lot of fans last year.
I mean, no one could believe what was happening to the Lions. I mean, not that they were a bad team, but it's just you don't see that, especially when you look at our previous performance against them in the Snow Bowl, if you will, a few years ago.
Yep.
It was an entirely different game. I know it's not exactly the side note to throw in here, but I find it hilarious to me that the Vikings picked up Sam Bradford because Chip Kelly just had, I don't know if they got a love affair going on or what's going on there, but he just cannot let that boy go.
Listen, we get to see Sam Bradford week 7.
I know, I'm excited for it.
He's coming back to Philadelphia as a Minnesota Viking.
He's going to get broke.
And as I say on the show, every Saturday, every Sunday, now every Tuesday, whole nother level, Sam Bradford is in the best situation for who he is to succeed. So I am excited to see him come back to the link because I know Fletcher Cox, Connor Barwin, Brandon Graham, Connor Barth, they're going to put a handle on him like it's nobody's business. What I will say to you, though, is what I saw him do Sunday in Carolina against Carolina pissed me off because I'm like, wait a minute.
Why couldn't you do that for us?
Thank you. When we went to Carolina last year on a Sunday night game, you couldn't do that for us, but you can do it. You can do it for damn Minnesota. Come on, man. Nah, come on. That just showed me right there what kind of man Sam Bradford
Well, see,
is.
the only thing I can say is that I hope that every Eagles player who's on the squad this year, who was on it last year, was watching that game, saw what he did, thinks the same way.
Yes.
And when he shows up, shows him what that means to them.
Listen,
that's what I want to see.
I love my man Stephon Diggs. He is the go-to guy in Minnesota right now. You might not want to come to Philly, bruh, for 2 reasons. Number 1, you come to Philly, you might get your heart broke out. But number 2, we may kidnap you and not let you go. Because, I'm sorry, let you come to Philadelphia, whoo, I'm buying 2 jerseys. One for me, one for Lance. I'm just telling you, please come to Philadelphia. I would love it. But anyhow, great game. We are off, so we will not see y'all next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Lance LaRosa, it's your man E. Dubs. This has been the ROE. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Peace.
Peace.